So they went across the country and they found that there were about 100,000 Jews living in Iran. 10% of them belonged to the country's elites. 10% were part of the new urban middle class. And 80% were lower middle class and impoverished Jews that lived in the social and geographical peripheries of Iran. In 1977, the same organization conducted a new survey of Iranian Jews, and they found that there were, once again, about 100,000 Jews in Iran. 10% still belonged to the country's elites, but then 80% belonged to the middle class and upper middle class. And 10% were still impoverished lower classes. And this is the story of the 20th century Iranian Jewish history. The overrepresentation is what we see at the peak of this period. I would say that partly it's because of the policies of Reza Shah, because of investment in Jewish education, because of also the relations between Iran and Israel that were very close allies, and many Israeli companies came to work in Iran, and many of them hired Iranian Jews to run the operations in Iran. Jews were overrepresented in journalism. There were Shaul Bachash and Homassar Shah and many that came to very high positions in the printed press and in TV. In academia, 2 of 18 members of the Royal Academy were Jews. So it's, again, much more than their part of the population. One of the biggest plastic manufacturers in Iran was Habib al-Khanyan, who was executed by the revolution later. He was the owner of a big plastic company, and he owned one of the Plasco buildings, which was a signature of the Tehran skyline for many years. One of the biggest pharmaceutical companies was run by Habib Levy, who was a prominent Iranian Jew. Jews were everywhere. Let's say that in the 1970s, we see this mindset of Iranian Jews that they achieved it. They got to the point that there's no conflict between their different identities or different components of their identities.